All right, we are here today and lucky to have Betty Yee, who is running for governor of the state of California. Betty, nice to have you here. You were the state controller for many years. I think it was 9 years.
8 years, yes.
What exactly does the state controller do in a nutshell?
The state controller essentially is the chief fiscal officer for the state of California.
Okay.
We're responsible for all of the frankly, all the financial statements and paying the bills for California,
okay.
and had a very successful tenure where we didn't have to borrow to pay the bills.
So you have deep roots in family,
yes.
And in this state. You were raised in the San Francisco area. You were the family accountant for the family laundromat.
Yes.
You came here and you didn't speak English
right.
at the time. You could be the definition of the American dream in California. Has the state lost that?
We've lost a little bit of that, but what gives me hope is that we have all the ingredients to bring that back. Mm-hmm. Certainly the diversity of our people, the ways that we can take care of our families. Look, if we focus on continuing to help families just deal with some of their struggles as my family did, we'll be fine. And that's really what I want to bring to this work. It's just, accountability and fiscal leadership that will make California add up for everyone.
In the big picture, but you also have roots with very small business and family business.
Absolutely.
So the most recent poll for Politico has you in the middle of the pack. We're
yes.
going to show that poll, and you're at about 6%. There you are.
Yes.
That's not the complete list, but those are the top candidates,
yes.
should we say that right now. You're all Democrats. Most of you in there are Democrats. What will you need to do to move up? You see Katie Porter at 21%.
Yes.
Do you have to blast away at your Democratic opponents in this? Is that done well in this state?
For me, I will say that I travel this state extensively. I like going into communities and just really understanding who and what I'm going to represent. And those direct engagements really help to help me begin to think about priorities and what we need to look at to make things a little bit better for all Californians.
Much of what you hear from politicians running for office in our state is California needs help with lowering gas prices, more affordable housing. Home prices are insane right
yes.
now. But most candidates will say that. What can a governor really do to do the things that you're talking about needing fixing?
Sure. Well, a couple things. Look, as the chief executive for California, we can set the tone for just inviting strict accountability over how we use our public funds. The other thing we can do is that we should set the tone for a culture of preparedness. We are subject to, we have wildfires right now that are burning in California, and I think Californians just want to know we're going to be at the ready to tackle whatever disasters and also struggles that families are having.
What are some of the differences? We showed the poll.
Yes.
Yeah, Katie Porter,
sure.
you, and a couple of Republicans in there as well. What will you propose doing differently than a Katie Porter is proposing?
Well,
how do we make a choice?
Sure. Look, I know how state government works. I was a former state budget director. I have been a controller. I understand just how departments can deliver for the people of California. And I have confidence I can do this job because, look, we have great talent in our state government, knows how to deliver services. And so my job is to be sure that we set that tone of accountability to know that our dollars are being used to deliver for results, and also to work with the legislature to be sure that we are preparing for what is to come in terms of economic vulnerabilities that families are going to be facing. That was what helped my family when we were growing up. We were poor, family business, raising 6 kids. My parents did. So I think I really understand the struggles that families are undergoing and want to bring really kind of my no-nonsense, no-gimmicks approach to trying to fix this.
It's not an easy job. Obviously,
yes.
one of the most difficult jobs in the country is governor of California.
Yes.
And I shared with you that my dad was a state senator, and the only advice he ever gave me was, don't run for office.
Right.
It's a thankless job. Why do you want something like that?
Look, I'm a native Californian, first-generation American, and I'm not giving up on the state. Everywhere I travel, I see innovation happening everywhere. Even in places that we don't invest heavily in, there's innovation that has to go on every day because they have to. And so as I look at that, that gives me hope about what we can do in terms of uplifting the entire state and being sure that all families are being able to be successful and thrive.
Your PR person told me earlier this morning in an email that you're the only one who actually wants to run for governor. What does that mean?
I want to do the job.
Okay.
I have no aspirations for higher office. I want to bring my fiscal and financial discipline to work to make California add up for our families. And I'm ready to roll up my sleeve on day one to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Betty Yee, candidate for governor. Betty, nice to see you.
Thank you, Walt.
Thank you. Jay.